Hey, B, speaking of which, I have to apologize to the MCU fans out there. Look, I know my wheelhouse.
You really screwed up.
I'm a Star Wars guy.
You screwed up.
And I know a lot about comic books, but clearly when it comes to the MCU, I don't know enough. Marvels, that's Marvels, all right? Joe, your knowledge of the MCU is so bad, you need to STOP. It's a total of 6 stones, not 5.
Oh, you really blew that.
I'm sorry.
You really blew that.
I thought it was 5.
So, Jordan, not 5.
Yeah, I was wrong, and
not
I
Tim
apologize.
Duncan, not Kobe.
I apologize.
Not Magic.
Not 5.
You blew it.
Belichick's got 6?
Belichick's got 6 with the Patriots.
Yeah.
2 with the New York Giants.
Yeah, well,
That's 8.
Still to the side. We don't count Seiferd's ones when he was defensive coordinator.
Kind of Mike Holmgren's yesterday.
Well, that's because we were trying to butter him up. Know your audience.
I even threw in the national championship back in 1967.
Let me just, I'll freely admit.
Five-knuckle shuffle.
Superman, Batman, those are my jams. I'm not a big Spider-Man guy, though I watch it all.
I'm a big Spider-Man guy. Peter Parker, right? I'm kidding.
Point being, I apologize to the Marvel comic universe, and I apologize to people out there that I offended with my 5 gemstone comment.
With great power comes great responsibility,
Thank
Joe.
you, Radnich.
Come on.
Damn, you just might want to sit this one out. Let's just go to Adam in the city. Adam in the city, listen on the radio. You need a timeout. Adam in the city, what's happening, man? You're on the roast. Long time no hear.
Yeah, it's been a while, but when you start talking Warriors, it gets me excited. So, no, this year's going to be something great. I think, honestly, moving forward, it's kind of like playing with house money after you've won big at the casino, right? Like last year, that championship was kind of unexpected, but it was like the greatest one that they had achieved. And honestly, anything after this is just kind of a cherry on the top. But you see how much better the team got, how much more cohesion there's going to be this year. I mean, maybe 5 or 6 rings. Hopefully that'd be awesome. But if they don't win again, which I don't see that not happening, but it's just great to see how far this team has come and where they're going to go moving forward.
How are you feeling about the Niners right now? How's your mood change when you talk about the 49ers?
Man, well, I was in Mexico when the Jimmy G news broke, and I just kind of laughed. I'm like, of course this would happen. Like, and the Niners are dealing with what they sowed, right? Like they brought him back. They brought back this quarterback controversy. Now there's a bunch of finger pointing, and it's just like you guys got to figure your stuff out. Like you guys are too good of a team. This defense is way too good to be losing games when you're only allowing 10, 11 points. Like, you got to get it together, and it starts with the head coach and then the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Whoa, that was loud.
Sorry. This was an accident.
Whoa.
That scared me.
This is bored. I'm not sure what's going on there. But he just said he just kind of laughed. Adam and SF just kind of laughed. Because now we're back with the Jimmy Garoppolo movement. And something you brought up during the break, a couple breaks ago actually, is the national perspective on Jimmy Garoppolo and the local perspective on Jimmy Garoppolo. There's a lot of people in the Bay Area that believes Jimmy Garoppolo gives this team the best chance to win.
Well, right now, with
also
no
think
Trey
he's a good
Lance,
quarterback.
I don't think there's...
I'm not ready to go Brock Purdy.
Well,
like some people have already gone down that one. I'm not
know.
ready to go full Brock Purdy. Not going there. Not even thinking about that. Want Jimmy to be healthy. But just can Shanahan make the game simple for him? I know he's a 9-year veteran, and it's like, wait,
what does that look like? What does that look like? What do you mean
Maybe
by
it's
that?
like pre-snap. If I see a linebacker on Brendan Ayuk, I need to take advantage of that matchup.
Well, shouldn't he already be able to do that?
Maybe he needs help.
I'm asking you. I don't even know the answer.
At this point, I'm just trying to help him. And I'm trying to win some damn football games.
Pre-snap recognition is what's really, truly separated Josh Allen at this point in his career. He clearly has the physical gifts, but to me, when you look at Josh Allen, I think lost in all the physical gifts is how intelligent he is in terms of his decision-making, and a lot of his decisions he's making pre-snap. For example, he knows I got Diggs with a linebacker on the inside over here, but I'm going to start left, knowing I'm going to work my way to the right to get to Stephon Diggs.
That's all I'm asking
for example.
But Jimmy may need help. At this point, I can't worry about, oh, man, shouldn't he already know this? He's a 9-year veteran. At this point, I'm just trying to win some damn football games. And at this point, I'm saying, hey, look, Ayuk's right there. Look to the left, throw to the right. Maybe he needs to be reminded of that. Maybe he needs to be reminded if Bobby Wagner on Monday Night Football and George Kittle breaks out into the slot and there's Bobby Wagner one-on-one with George Kittle. Hey, Jimmy, you got Kittle matched up with Bobby Wagner. That's where we're going to go. maybe be a little deceptive there. I have no problem with that. Maybe they're already doing that. I have no idea. But make it simple for him and identify the matchups. I like the matchup with George Kittle on any linebacker in this league. I like the matchup with Deebo Samuel against most corners. I like the matchup with Brandon Ayuk against most corners. Take advantage of it and just make it simple for Jimmy. That's all I'm asking.
It feels like they're in a relationship right now where they're staying together. And they need each other to just finish out the school year so that the kids can finish the school year out together in the same household.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? When two people have decided they're going to go in separate ways and they're staying together for the kids for the time being until they graduate.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like,
right,
that's what it feels like with the two of them. But they got to figure it out. I mean, they got to just get on the same page, and both of them need to be better. Both Kyle needs to be better, and clearly Jimmy Garoppolo needs to be better. I mean, right now, they need each other.
Right. They need each other.
I mean, there's no other way around it. Like, if Jimmy wants, Jimmy's going to make a ton of money. Jimmy needs to play well. Yeah. That should be the number one thing in his arsenal right now. Play well, play nice with Kyle. Kyle needs to play nice with him, because right now, that's all they have for each other. Now, if we get to Brock Purdy, we get to Brock Purdy.
No,
I'm not ready to go there.
I'm not really. So,
but I'm also not dismissing it.
I'm not willing to go
I'm not dismissing
I'm not willing to go there. Now,
Who
a lot
knows?
of people made a big deal of the little clip yesterday that floated on the internet on Twitter about Jimmy Garoppolo, and some people were lip reading, said all your plays suck, man. I have no idea what Jimmy said. We didn't really talk about it. We just kind of laughed it off and said, all right, whatever. Jimmy's a little angry. Play angry. I do not care. But there is something to Kyle and Jimmy just saying, hey, look, let's let bygones be bygones. Like you just said, the best thing for both of these guys is to just win in 2022. I don't want to talk about firing Kyle Shanahan. I don't want to talk about whether or not his seat is hot. I don't want to talk about Jimmy Garoppolo being a mediocre quarterback. How can those two guys figure out a way to coexist and just win football games? And maybe Steve Young's been talking about it all season. They need to have a one-on-one talk. Maybe they've already had it, but maybe Garoppolo needs to come into the office and say, hey, look, man, Kyle, I know I played terrible on Sunday. Mm-hmm. How can we simplify this playbook? Right now, I need to catch up, because he keeps talking about catching up. I need to catch up. I haven't had a training camp. There's no time to waste. First quarter of the season is about to be done. How long do we have to wait for Jimmy Garoppolo to catch up? So until then, Jimmy needs to go to Kyle, or Kyle needs to go to Jimmy. How can we make this work and make it simple to just win games?
And that's why I go back to the Deebo thing. So my solution for at least trying to free up the offense right now, and I don't think it's the perfect answer. I mean, and people are going to disagree with me. You're going to get him hurt. I would put Deebo Samuel as a traditional running back and have him take normal, not jet sweeps, not lefts and rights.
I can't do that, Shasky.
Let me finish. And then I would try to get the ball in my playmakers' hands more than not. I need to get the best offensive players on the field. To me, Jeff Wilson's not one of their best offensive weapons. I want to see what Danny Gray has. And if that means that I got to see him get pressed on the outside at the very minimum for a couple of plays before I go back to the old way, so be it.
I can't have Deebo Samuel play full-time running back. I can't do it. He won't last till week 8. By doing that. He's not built to be a running back. He was built to be a baller, but he's not built to, hey, let me take 20 carries out of the backfield.
I'm not saying 20 carries.
But
if I give him 12 to 15, if I give him 12 to 15 unique looks, and I'm getting him as a pass catcher out of the backfield, I'm forcing safeties and linebackers to stay with him,
I can't.
And I'm getting him in space. That is the number one thing I'm trying to do.
I don't want that. What I want is Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle to be in 3-by-1 formations, trips left, trips right, or I need Deebo in the slot. The book is out on Deebo Samuel being a full-time running back. This is why when you miss on Trey Sermon,
they haven't used him as a running back. They've used him as a gimmicky wide receiver in motion at the running back position.
Last week they did. They had him in the backfield, and everybody knew what was coming.
But this is why I want him to play more running back, because if you have him back there, every time he's back there, I assume he's getting the ball. If he's back there and you're running some play action and he's a decoy every now and then. You got one
receiver running down the field, and Brandon Ayuk, and he's going to get double teamed.
Of course he is, and this is why I want Kittle and Juszczyk and Danny Gray to run routes as well.
I don't like that.
You got to use Deebo not just as a guy who's only going to touch the ball. Sometimes he's got to be the decoy.
Yeah, but I want him as a decoy in the passing game. Not in the backfield.
He gets no separation.
Well, that's on him then. He's got to work on that.
Well,
he's got to work on that.
We agree. We agree in the sense of I just don't think he's a very perfect wide receiver.
He was in I formation last week. I can't have number 19 in I formation. I can't. can't.
Look,
that just seems like career suicide when you put Debo back there in I formation to say, hey, we're going to run the ball with you. He almost broke down in the playoffs last year. He barely made it to the NFC Championship game.
I'll worry about the playoffs come playoffs. I need to get through this month. I need to get back to winning.
He's not going to last this month if you continue to run this way.
I'm looking at it.
Trey Lance lasted 5 quarters running the way he ran.
Well, they're different players. One guy's a physical football player whose entire brand is running through people, and the other guy's a quarterback.
I need Debo in the passing game because you don't have a lot of threats in the passing game. Well, you've got legit Ayuk and Debo. Do we really think Jawan Jennings is a big-time threat?
Is Kamara, let me ask you this. I'm just hypothetically.
He's a running back.
Is he?
Played running back.
Is he?
Yes, he's a running back.
Where's he best at?
He's a running back.
I think he's best on the edges.
Well, you get him on the edges in the running game.
Well, why can't I use Debo the same way?
Debo doesn't have that speed like Kamara.
Well, I think
Kamara's
he's more physical around the edges. He does have great speed. I don't dismiss that.
You can't even get Debo to the line of scrimmage. By the time he gets to the line of scrimmage, he's getting popped.
But for me, it's all about matching him up against linebackers. Like I'm watching this guy get very little separation at practice.
But teams, when they see Debo, they know, okay, they're trying to get him lined up to a linebacker. They will make the adjustment to make sure a safety's on Debo Samuel. Debo's not going to see a lot of matchups.
That's one less safety that's out in coverage, bracketing Danny Gray and Ayuk. Look, I love these schematic arguments. No one knows. No one knows. Right. That's why I want to see him. You invested a 3rd-round pick, and he actually has game-breaking speed. One play makes a huge difference for this. They had one drive. You're telling me one 30-yard play for this offense isn't like a big, leap forward?
Well, again, it goes back to the quarterback not being able to make throws. But again, the quarterback is here because of the coach. So we're all back running in the same circle.
I'm trying to find a creative way to get the best players that I believe can break plays on the offense. And to me right now, Jeff Wilson's fine for 5 or 6 carries. He cannot be a guy that gets more touches than Debo, Ayuk, and Kittle combined.
So here's my thing. One, monitor the New York Giants situation because I do think you need a special running back.
Agreed. Personnel from outside the room would help.
This team can't draft running backs.
I'm with you there.
Outside of Elijah Mitchell, then go get a running back. All right? Go get a running back. 2, I think to get creative, line up Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk on one side, and I would run that damn thing all day. 3-by-1. The Rams do it all the time with Cooper Kupp. You could have Debo on the outside. You could have him on the inside. I need them to be together where the defense is like, okay, we have Ayuk, Debo, and Kittle over here. How do we defend this? That may be a creative way of making things happen.
I'm open for whatever. Yeah. I love that idea. I'm open for whatever. But this thing that Kittle has to stay in to block the entire time.
Well, that you can't have that.
Why do I have use check? Right. Why am I paying this fullback? Can the fullback stay in and block a little?
I'm with you there. Kittle has to catch passes.
And I'm not trying to pick on use check. I'm more like, how do I get my best playmakers out in the open field? That's all I'm trying to do here. And so, look, if you guys think I'm stupid and I'm trying to run Debo into the ground, that's not what I'm just trying to get this offense to pop.
No, I just think it's just too predictable to put Debo at running back. I understand what you're trying to say. And I understand your thought process on trying to get Debo the ball more. But giving Debo the ball out of the backfield, it's not working anymore.
Well, that's where if he let's say he takes a couple up the middle runs, right? And then I run that play action. Now everybody's biting and inside, and maybe I can go over the top for a deep crosser. Like, when was the last time Kittle caught a seam route?
It's been a while. It's been a while.
And then maybe Joe, it's there. The quarterback's not throwing it. I'll listen to that. But, you got to try something.
Yeah, the seam route was there in the NFC Championship game.
I know.
Alex in Waco, Texas.
I'm just trying, man. I want to see them win. Right. Alex, they can win the West.
Alex, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm in the belly of the beast out here in Texas in cowboy country. How y'all doing?
What's up, man?
We're good, man. Thanks for listening or watching us on YouTube all the way from Waco, Texas. It means a lot.
Absolutely. You already know it. 95.7 is great.
Thank you.
Guys. So I have a couple of things. I've been a Niners fan since 1983. And I'm disappointed in our fan base. And I'm not necessarily disappointed in you guys, maybe a little bit, because there's things that need to be called out that we're not calling out.
Like what?
The Niners used to stand for something, and that was integrity. It was greatness. Kyle Shanahan is not great. I agree with Guru from yesterday. You were very negligent on our franchise quarterback. Not any other position, but the most important position is the position that you need to keep out on the field and develop. And running a halfback power is your way. So he didn't want to develop. we don't call out George Kittle for not playing and coming up with these fake soft tissue injuries.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Yeah,
Please, come on. That's not. How can I know if someone's hurt or not? That's not fair. George Kittle's been a gladiator for this team. He played with a pop. What was it called?
Pop capsule of the kneecap. I still don't know what it is. Anybody figure? I've been trying to figure out what that is in 3 years.
That's not fair.
Yeah, let's go to Tyler in the city watching this on YouTube. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Just tapping in right quick. Chassis, bro, you cannot put Debo at running back if you want him to finish the season.
Look, I'm trying to come up with a creative way of getting this team to pop on offense. I will listen to anyone's opinion at this point when it comes to opening it up. That's all I'm trying to do. And if you don't agree with it, that's totally fair.
How about it's crazy. We just have the quarterback actually play as a quarterback and be better at throwing the ball down the field. And he skipped an 18-yard pass to Brandon Ayuk last week when he was wide open. He was first down. He can't even go 18 yards. Oh man, at this point, I really feel like Purdy cannot be that much of a drop-off than Jimmy G.
Oh man, we're here. Tyler, I love you, man.
If I had to put $100, he's not the only one thinking it.
No, he's not. I'm not
going to laugh at people suggesting it.
I'm not laughing
because
at either.
At this point, and this is like the same thing with my Debo opinion.
My reaction is, gosh, I can't believe we're here with Brock Purdy.
Well, that's what
Jimmy was that bad.
I'm screaming for Debo to play running back. Right. You know why? Because they have an opportunity with this kind of a defense to win the West, and they can beat anyone. When you say, I have a defense, that means you can win on the road in any environment.
Any environment.
I just need a little offense.
So you said this in Sacktown, Kenny Caraway, 1320 ESPN is just Texas the same thing.
What did he say?
They need to get aggressive for Odell Beckham Jr. and have him in the tuck for the second half of the season.
Been saying
to get another playmaker.
I've been saying
he's been hanging around the Rams,
wearing yellow pants on the sideline.
Does he still want to play with Jimmy Garoppolo, though? When he watches Jimmy Garoppolo play quarterback, does Odell Beckham want to play with him? He played with Baker Mayfield and couldn't wait to get out of town.
Well, and his dad either.
Yeah, his dad was. You think his dad would go crazy? He went crazy over Baker Mayfield. Imagine Jimmy Garoppolo. I would love Odell Beckham Jr. because what I've been arguing, you need more wide receivers. Now all of a sudden, we look at the wide receiver position, we totally ignored it. If we're going to use Deebo Samuel like a gadget player, as a running back, I feel I need more weapons outside, and they didn't address that.
Just hear me in 1 second. Everyone's mad at the wide back. It worked last year. Now, I'm not saying it's going to work this year because when you call it a gimmick, whatever, it worked, all right? It was a wrinkle, all right? It worked for them. Like, people probably say the same thing about Roger Craig catching so many passes out of the backfield. When something's new, it's a novel idea, people think you're a crackpot or that it's an outlier, all right? And I get that.
And it looks predictable.
I hear you.
Roger Craig was a running back who can make things happen in the passing game, too. Like that. I mean, I don't know if that's a gadget.
Again, but I'm sure that people thought early on, this iPhone that's a smartphone, people thought that was crazy and it wasn't going to catch on. Right. Here we are. Now, I'm not saying this is the way of the future for Deebo Samuel. All I'm saying is they have a lack of playmakers. How can I get one of the highest paid, best players on the team the ball in creative ways?
By getting them open downfield. I watched the last 2 minutes of that drive in the last regular season game against the LA Rams, and one of the big plays was Deebo Samuel running a route down the field for damn near 40 yards that got the Niners in position to tie that football game up. Get him down the field in space. I don't need him running against 8-man boxes. Think about where he's running against. The jet sweeps, when he's running in motion. Team's got 8-9 in the box.
I know, but they had Elijah Mitchell at the end of last year as well, and they don't even have that.
They don't have that.
They don't have any juice.
Down the field.
He led the league in 20-yard rushes last year, Elijah Mitchell.
You're with me on getting another running back.
Running back, wide receiver. Like, to me right now, if I look at the Niners, I do think that personnel-wise, we're just looking at personnel, I don't think they have enough on, which is crazy to say, but I don't think they have enough on offense to get where they want to go, which is get into the playoffs. I would go outside the organization to get something.
Yeah, I would too. I would make some moves.
Or, here's a novel idea. Take a look at the third-round wide receiver that you drafted and try to get him at least to be a threat. No one's saying he's going to catch 9 for 180. I'm saying, like, one. Can I catch one pass?
I honestly...
He's a third-round pick.
If the Giants start losing games, I would kick down the doors for Saquon Barkley. I'm dead serious.
Well, I'm with you there, but
I'm dead serious. They need something in the backfield that can be a threat, that can open up the passing game. Now you don't have a threat in the running. Defenses don't respect Jeff Wilson Jr.
No, well, that's why I'm going back to the Debo thing. And look, it might be a crackpot. Everyone can laugh at me. That's fine. What's your solution?
I
want to hear what people's solution is.
Do you know who's supposed to come up with the solution? Kyle Shanahan.
Well, that's what I'm trying to throw one out there. And look, it's easy for anyone to. The quarterback needs to play better. Well, duh. I mean, like, duh. Well, but they also need a wrinkle. Clearly, like they need to shake things up. And I want to go no huddle.
That wrinkle that you're talking about has already been played out. We saw that last year, and teams had in the offseason to get ready for the Debo package.
They did.
The Rams, the Cardinals, everybody had
it doesn't feel like he's getting gun run type runs. I would like to see more of that off tackle.
But they know that.
Not in between. I know, but
that's coming. We saw it all last year.
Look, I know the slant's coming in the Shanahan offense, and yet they could still hit slants. Yeah. I know it's coming.
Let's go to Danker, Boo Boo, Moose, 30 seconds or less. Rat-a-tat-tat. Danker, you're up listening on the radio in San Francisco. What's up, Danker?
What's up, gentlemen? Real quick, the wrinkles won't come week 3. They come like week 7. And Ray's probably part of that. He's an end-around specialist. You can't overuse Debo. He doesn't have the frame. You saw what happened to Lance. He'll get rolled up on. And thank you, Bomani Jones. The 49ers bought the cheapest insurance possible. Like, how do they look like geniuses? And on top of everything, in the red zone, get me a jumbo package with Bosa who can actually, tow some weight. And let's trade Juice because he's overrated and been overrated.
Wow. Danker coming in strong there. Boo Boo and Morgan Hill listening on the radio. Boo Boo, what's happening?
What up, Bonte? What up, Chasky? First-time caller here.
What's up?
Thank you.
So I'm going to make it quick. We all know Shanahan's not going to let Jimmy cut it loose and throw it all over the place. We're all complaining why George Kittle isn't getting enough touches. We don't have our left tackle for a few weeks. Why not play George Kittle as the third down back in obvious passing situations? We'll get him a couple extra catches each game just as a security blanket. He'll run all the RB option routes, swing routes. He can pass block. It's just a different look. Stop putting Debo in the backfield.
I'm open for everything. Look, John Taylor lined up the famous play that Joe Montana threw that touchdown pass.
Tight end
because Brent Jones couldn't find his helmet.
Right, yeah.
No one ever talks about that.
But it was an accident.
I know it was an accident, but I'm just saying sometimes out of necessity you have to evolve.
Let's go back. Moose, you'll be our last call
you
of the
think
day.
Web feet just happened out of nowhere? In Waterworld, because the world turned into water, we evolved.
I didn't watch Waterworld.
Kevin Costner.
I didn't watch Waterworld.
It's actually very underrated.
Waterworld was a terrible movie from what I hear. Moose
the
is San Jose.
Cool at Universal Studios.
Moose is San Jose. You listening on radio.
Hey, Moose.
Morning, fellas. How you doing?
What's up?
I hate to be the last call on this note, but I got to say, us Warrior fans are a little over emotional, man. We were 3-5 in the first 8 games last year, and we're over here basically riding off Jimmy once again, as we've done for the last 2-3 years in a row. Every time he makes a noodle arms pass, 18-yard pass at the ground, when he's got a defender right in his face. I'm not necessarily making excuses for him, but there's a reason why playing quarterback is the highest paid position. It's also one of the toughest positions to play. So when you got a 6'7", 300-pound, 6'7" defensive end running directly at you or coming from your periphery, and he's got an arm up in his face getting ready to pancake you, and you make a pass that just hits your receiver's feet, it's not entirely that the quarterback is a buzz. It's a tough position to play, and I think us as fans, we need to be a little bit more patient. But number two,
Moose, we got to go. Jimmy's been here since 2017. Come on. How much patience did you want to say?
He had a bad game. I mean, it's okay to say it.
He had a bad game.
Steph Curry went 0 for 9 in the finals game. All right, from three-point land. And what we say? We need more from Steph. And he's one of the greatest athletes in Bay Area sports history.
I mean, come on.